This is Professor Derf Seitz. This video is about trigonometry angles. Angles can be viewed from two perspectives. A traditional view, degrees, and a natural view, radians. First, looking at angles in degrees. Angles in degree units is an arbitrary system based on one complete revolution being 360 degrees. 360 is not a natural number you find out there in nature. It's human created. For angles in degrees, the units must be specified. There's a degree symbol, or you can spell it out. Otherwise, in mathematics, the angles assumed to be in radian units. Calculators have a degree mode for doing trigonometric calculations when you're using angles in degrees. Note here the bold. Always make sure your calculator mode is set correctly before doing trigonometric calculations. Here's a picture that we'll be examining. Talks about an angle being in standard position. An angle in standard position has its vertex at the origin right here and its initial side oriented with the positive x-axis. Here's the x-axis, there's the initial side. The terminal side of an angle in standard position aligns either with one of the signed axes or within one of the four quadrants separated by the axes. The quadrants are numbered with Roman numerals in a counterclockwise rotational direction. Quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4. A 0-degree angle, initial side and terminal side coincide. A 90-degree angle is a right angle. Initial side always on the positive x-axis, terminal side here on the positive y-axis, a 90-degree angle. If you go all the way over to make like a straight line, that's straight angle, 180 degrees. Go down another 90, you get 270, and one complete revolution or rotation is 360 degrees. There are also negative angles if you rotate in the opposite direction. Here we have a negative 45-degree angle. The arrow there shows the rotational direction between its initial side and its terminal side. The other perspective for angles is radians. Angles in radian units is a natural system based on one complete revolution being 2 pi, which is the circumference of a unit circle, a circle with radius 1. And if you don't specify units, it defaults to radians. Calculators have two modes here to deal with these different perspectives. If you're using angles with values in radians, make sure you have your calculator set appropriately. Here in this diagram we see a 0 radian angle, the same as before, but now the 90-degree is pi over 2 because one revolution, we're dealing with a unit circle here of radius 1. One revolution is 2 pi, and that's 2 pi radians for that angle. So halfway around is pi, that's 180, and a quarter way around is half of pi, or pi over 2. Pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. Also, you have negative angles as before. That negative 45-degree angle is equivalent to a negative pi over 4, which is half of a pi over 2. This relationship right here, pi is 180 degrees, that little equation, you can use to get the conversion. That's pi radians equals 180 degrees. Divide both sides of this equation by pi, and you end up with 1 radian on the left equals 180 degrees over pi. Putting that on your calculator, you'll see that a radian is approximately 57.3 degrees, somewhere around here. It's much larger than a degree. Here's a table showing common angles that are dealt with frequently in trigonometry, and their radian value and their degree value, with some comments. 0 is 0. That's no rotation. It's the first quadrantal, since it's right there on the positive x-axis. Pi over 6, or 30 degrees, is a unit triangle bisector. We'll look at that in a later video. Pi over 4 is 45 degrees. That's a square or right angle bisector. Pi over 3, 60 degrees, comes from the angles in the unit triangle. Pi over 2 is 90 degrees. That's a square or right angle. It's the second quadrantal. Pi is 180. That's a straight line angle, third quadrantal. 3 pi over 2 is 270, the fourth quadrantal. And 2 pi, one complete revolution, 360 degrees, the fifth quadrantal. It's coterminal with 0. And if you take this mod 4, the fifth quadrantal, lays right on top of the first quadrantal, 0.